Hey guys, welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. My name is Ryan Chambers. I am the de facto leader of Starcastic Remarks, and since Chris and James are not here, I get to say that because we literally just recorded an episode. At the time we're recording this, they just hampered me for like an hour, just making fun of me left and right with all of my takes. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, but it is what it is. Anyways, we're not here to talk about me, although we kind of are here to talk about me because with our Stars Fan Stories series, which is the first episode we're going to be doing here in this series. We have Ryan Gardner. Ryan Gardner is a good friend of the show. He is a Who Cares club member as well. And he's always talking hockey and just like anything and everything Dallas Stars related. I feel like I see you in the DLS stuff all the time. I see you do. It just seems like you're everywhere. But Ryan, thank you for coming on and agreeing to do this. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself? Just like outside of hockey stuff. So, or
Sure.
no Dallas Stars, no hockey stuff. So, just if you wanted people to know something about you, what would you want them to know about you?
Sure. First of all, Mr. Remarks himself, thank you for letting me on here and doing this. Is pretty fun for you guys to do. A little about me. My name's Ryan. I have a wife and a kiddo with a kid on the way. So exciting times for us. I am an airline pilot in real life, so I fly. I have a glorified bus driver for people with wings. Take people to and from different places. But yeah, that's what I do, and got into hockey. Off and on throughout the 2010s, and then really 2019 and the bubble run of 2020 is when I really started getting paying a lot more attention to it. So yeah, that's a little bit about my background, I should say.
See, it's not just me today, right?
Yeah,
Words are hard for both of us today.
It's a Ryan disease at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it is late at the time we're recording this, but anyways, the the whole airline pilot thing is just fascinating to me because that's one thing that I think I want to do with my life. Like once I'm done with my whole band directing thing and that part of my life is over, I would love to go out and get my pilot's license and maybe not necessarily work for an airline like you do or something, but just to say that that's something that I can do. But what's even more interesting about some of the stuff that you do, Ryan, is that you actually have like a whole bunch of like model airplanes. You have like a TikTok that you're pretty regularly posting to. Can you tell us a little bit about that too?
Yeah, so I have I collect a lot of things. I've got a sports shelf up here. These are all my model airplanes. In fact, this one in particular, you want to see this one?
Take myself
This
off the
is
screen so people can see it.
Yeah, is it? Can you see it right there?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so this is my baby. This is the one that I fly. It's 76 seats. Twin turbo jet engine, and it's a pretty fun little airplane, very modern. We're still getting new deliveries of them as we speak, so they're really nice and comfortable airplanes. I've got Lego collection and stuff, so it's I'm a giant kid, so it's fun. The TikTok, I got 12,000 followers. Just it's pretty much aviation related, and getting people interested in it, kind of showing them what the life is like. And it's a fun life. You're gone maybe about half the time with the family. Some things can be difficult, but try to maintain that face to face every day with the little one. And it's a lifestyle, but it's a pretty fun lifestyle. And hey, I'm a flight instructor. If you ever want to do it,
Hey,
I can teach you.
Hey, I'll hit you up in like when can I retire? Like 30 years from now? Sad day.
Sure. Yeah, I'll fulfill your bucket list somewhere.
Well, that's awesome. Just like all the stuff that you're doing, and like you should also go follow him on TikTok, by the way, because you also do like simulator stuff too, right?
Yeah. So the premise of that was I can't bring people into the flight deck in the real world for obvious reasons.
Right.
And so it's a safe way for me to fly like the planes that I fly in the real world and bring people along so they can ask questions while they also kind of see what my thought process is, what I'm thinking when I do this, what goes on whenever this happens. How do I interact with flight attendants? How do I interact with passengers? How do I interact when this weather thing happens? So it's kind of fun to do like Q&As while I'm doing that, because like I said, you can't do it in the real world. So why not do it there?
So a lot of people have the question, like, how close to realistic are those flight simulators? Are they pretty realistic?
I would say they've gotten a lot better. There are certain ones that are better than others, but nothing will ever teach you the feel of landing or taking off an airplane, but how to read an instrument panel, how to judge distances, how to do radio communications, things like that are actually pretty useful on those simulators. The flying side, they do as good as they can, but there's only so much you're going to actually be able to feel. It's kind of like a race car sim. They'll be really good with all their reactions and know how to read their lines and instrumentations, but once you get into a race car itself, it's completely different. So some good, some it's a simulator.
Yeah, it is what I mean. It is a simulator, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk hockey here. So okay, so
Sweet.
you very briefly mentioned that you were a fan of the Stars in the 2010s, and how did it start? Like was it just like a family thing? Like your dad introduced it, like my dad did to me, or how did that whole thing? How did your whole interest in hockey and in the Dallas Stars percolate?
Sure. So I know I look young, and I know people who have baby faces. They have this curse. But I was born in 1991. I know
That's exactly why I have this. I have my facial hair. That's the only reason they did.
I haven't flown in a few days. It's a little scratchy, but we're supposed to keep it clean. But yeah, I've flown in a few days. But I was born in 91. So in 99, I remember as a little kid, so I was like my 6 or 7-year-old self. I remember being in my parents' bedroom when they won the cup. We were like watching it together. And it was really cool. Like as a kid, like, oh, this is so neat. I didn't understand like the gravity of it, especially since the Stars had come to the Metroplex less than a decade before and really injected hockey into the fandom. So that was all not in my brain and stuff. But over the next decade, I think I was too young and just too dumb high schooler to really pay attention. But once the 2010s came around, and really for me, it was when Tyler Seguin got traded to the Stars. And I remember the hype around that move. And I can't tell you the ins and outs of what happened. I don't even know who they traded for him. But that was really fun to see. I was like, whoa, these Stars seem like super relevant from this. And so that's when I started lightly paying attention to it. But I became a very into it fan probably about 5 years ago, especially during the 2020 and then the bubble run. That was when I really stopped down and paid attention. That's actually pretty quick after that is when I found you guys. So yeah.
And that's we talked before this, and that was the birthplace of this podcast, was pretty much the bubble playoff run. That I went back and listened to the first episode a couple of days ago, and oh my gosh, cringe. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. But we were talking about how the Rangers got the first overall pick. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about how Alexei Lafreniere was going to be a New York Ranger, and how unfair it was because the Rangers were not that bad of a team. They rocketed it all the way up to the first overall from like the 13th position or something like that. But yeah, that's about the time when we decided just to, let's just do it and see how it goes. And now it is what it is. It's crazy, absolutely crazy that this is where it is. But
yeah, y'all are doing a great job.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, man. But okay, so for you, since you're talking about the bubble run, what was like the moment for you? Because there were a lot of moments that were ridiculous in that bubble run that made it just absolutely magical. And like a lot of people, even to this day, will say that even though the Stars had a really good chance to win it last year, not necessarily this year, but last year, that 2020 was the run where they probably should have won the cup.
Sure.
So like what was your favorite moment out of that whole run?
Man, it was so fun getting so deep into those games. The two things, I mean, Kiviranta just going nuts was really fun. And for me, I was still like casual fan growing into hardcore fan, so I didn't know who that was. And so this guy just like appeared out of nowhere and just started scoring hat tricks for us, which was so fun. But the moment of that was Radulov's overtime winner in the Western Conference Finals. Like just it's like 30 something seconds into overtime, wasn't even that long, but he just was left all alone. And it was just the most beautiful shots. And it was against the Golden Knights. And it was, it was so good. And yeah, I thought, yeah, these past few teams have been great, but hey, that team made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. So I would almost tend to agree.
Well, I mean, there were so many different moments in that run. I mean, there was Garyanov's 4-goal game against the Flames. I mean, it was Joe Pavelski. That was his coming out party, even though he was 36 or whatever at the time. We were down 2-1 to Calgary in the opening round of the true opening round of the playoffs. And I think we were down a goal and it was like less than 30 seconds remaining. And he scores the goal to tie the game, send it to overtime. And then we end up winning that game. And then we end up winning the series. Like and then you've got the pop culturist, reference to Anton Hudobin. We're not going home. Oh my goodness. That lives in my head rent free all the time.
That's like Dallas Stars lore at this point. Like that line will never go away.
Yes, just like I am Valdichushkin. That's an even older one. But yeah, that bubble run was just absolutely fantastic and everything like that. So, okay, so you being a fan and being a fan of this team, and they've cost us so much pain in the last 3 years because they've been so close. What keeps you coming back? Like, it could have piqued your interest in 2020 and you could have been just like, oh, that was really cool. That was amazing. But you came back for the 21 season, the shortened 21 season, and then it continued on from that. So what made you keep coming back to watch Dallas Stars games? Was it the community? Was it just the sport itself? Well, what exactly was
it? The sport itself was pretty key because I didn't know much about it, so I wanted to learn. I knew a lot about different other sports, and so it's nice to learn about a new one. My in-laws had gotten 20 game packages to the Stars game, so I started attending more and more, and now we go with them to most of them. But I think the thing that really kept me coming back, and and what really solidified it was within the last couple of years. And I'm going to give a lot of credit to you guys creating even just like the Discord. I would watch your podcasts, of course, and watch other things just to get as much information as I could. But you guys creating the Discord really created a tight community feel. And that was just really like, I meet these guys at the games now. And so it's just like this fandom is so unique in the Metroplex. I feel like it's the most hardcore, like, I don't know the word, but just they are the most dedicated. They're the most dedicated fan base out of the 4 majors. And it's really fun to feel kind of like I'm a part of that now.
Oh, you're absolutely. Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, you hear that, McMahon? Stupid McMahon. Oh, sorry.
Your favorite guy.
Oh, I cannot stand that guy after what he said on ESPN. Like, well, this is a bunch of hippies. Whatever. Okay, man.
It is the loudest crowd out of the 4. The only thing that can maybe beat it is Rangers playoff baseball. But I say maybe because I have felt deaf in the AAC. Yep. So,
but like to this day, I've never heard a louder pop or a louder crowd than when Radulov scored the go-ahead goal at the 2020 Winter Classic. That was absolutely nuts. I was there for it. I had never heard a bigger pop, a bigger louder roar. Like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like you don't. No offense to Rangers or Mavs or the Cowboys, but you don't get something like that in those
No,
other
I
three
agree with you.
sports. So like I think that's what makes hockey so unique and what makes it so awesome. So and I do appreciate everything you said about the podcast though too. We've put a lot of work into it, but the real reason why we started it is because there wasn't a whole lot of media around the Stars,
No.
even talking about them. And now we're getting more. We're starting to get some more back in the world. So speaking of which, I want to ask you about this. This is not it's not a question I prepared you for. I'm asking you anyways. So the national media, do you think that they give the Stars enough credit for how good they are?
That's interesting because like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I would say no, and at this point, I say no with a big asterisk because I'm feeling like you're starting to see a corner turn on that. You've got it. I mean, you're starting to see all these big hockey heads really giving their due to like Jim Nill or just the Stars' success in general over the last few years. And I mean, even these rumors that these big time free agents that right now, I mean, I'm not a cap guy or anything that the Stars could not afford, but you're hearing it from like Friedman and everybody saying, this guy wants to go to Dallas. This guy wants to go to Dallas. And I feel like you're starting to slightly see that corner turn. And it's cool. Like, it's really, really nice to see. It's kind of fun being in your own little bubble. Like, oh, we're the Stars, we're the underdogs. We're going to come get you regardless. But it is also nice to see that they might be starting to get their due. They'll never be the Torontos or anything, but it is, like I said, it's pretty cool to see that might be turning a corner. I don't know if you agree with that or not. That's just kind of how I feel.
No, that's a good point. I think they're starting to get their due diligence, and I think it helps when you've got players like Miro Heiskanen coming out. I think Mikko Rantanen being a
was
Dallas
huge.
Star, I think that's going to change a lot of heads too. And now he's going to have a full year as a member of the Dallas Stars in the regular season. I think that's going to help a ton too. So
8 full years.
man, that's nuts. That's crazy. Okay, so do you have like a favorite current player, like a player that's your favorite?
It's tough. There's a lot of guys that on the team. It's what's cool about this group, right? I mean, there's a lot of guys that you could say. I think my favorite current player would probably be Wyatt Johnston. There was a stretch this year of like a week or two where he was just, I mean, you probably remember, I don't remember exactly when it was, but he was making some insane moves, just like darting in between guys or just like taking over certain goals by himself. He's just such a fun kid to watch. And I think the sky's literally the limit for him. I think it's going to be so much fun to watch grow over these next few years. And how can you not like Jake Ottinger also? I mean, there's it's so hard not to like some of these guys. They're good dudes. They give back, and they're good at the game. So I think overall it'd be Wyatt Johnston.
Yep. For me, it changes like every week.
That's always hard.
And to be honest with you, I say this a lot. A lot of the credit goes to Jim Nill.
Yeah,
like that's one of his biggest things. Is like, yes, we need talent, and yes, we want to have a good hockey team. Oh, excuse me, but we care more. More than anything, we care about character. Like, are you a good person? Will you fit in this dressing room really well? And I mean, that's why. No offense, but that's why you don't see guys like the controversial figures, like, and they're not even all that controversial, but like, like Evander Kane or Tony D'Angelo or I mean, Tom Wilson is not really all that controversial, but like they don't really like him or whatever. But especially those first two, like you don't see those kind of guys coming into Dallas very much, and it's because Jim Nill does care about that. That's a big thing for him with his team.
Very much on purpose. You're right. It's very much on purpose.
Yes, because I mean that does it does play an intangible factor into how your team plays in the regular season and in the playoffs. So, okay, do you have like a favorite old player? Like for me, for me, a lot of people don't know the players of the 90s, but I do. I remember them, even though I was barely coherent at that point. I'm only 2 years younger than you, so I'm 31, but I still remember the Shane Churlas of the world, the John Sims. John Sim was a little after that, but the Neil Broughtons, and like those kind of guys, like the ones that no one really talks about. Do you have one like that's kind of out of the box and kind of weird?
It's not out of the box at all. It's hard not to say Mo, but for me, I used to play. I will say on my N64, I had like NHL '99, and the stars were. I always thought it was funny that the stars had a better overall rating than like the All Star team that they put on there. Like the stars were like a 98, and the All Stars were a 96 or something. So I'd always play as the stars, and it just felt like every time I touched the puck, Hatcher would score. And so,
You mean he wasn't punching people's face in or anything like that?
I mean, that game, it wasn't like the old Blitz games or anything where it was just like straight arcade style. So no, but I think Hatcher and Belfour as a kid were the ones that stuck out to me the most. As through the 2000s, Madonna was obviously the one that I knew, and then like not an old player, he's still current, but like I said, when Sagan came along, that was kind of my guy that I paid attention to a lot. But those are kind of the ones that I paid attention to from back then.
So you talked about how you go to a bunch of Stars games now. Are you like a 20 game holder? Or are you like a full season ticket?
20 game. Yeah, we do 20
game.
games, section 104. Yep.
So you're down there on the bottom.
Yep.
You're down in the bougie seats. I love it. So has there been like a moment or whatever that you've been to that you've experienced in person at a Stars game like that was like super crazy wild or anything like that, or anything that stuck out to you?
Man,
I know there's a lot.
There's a lot. You're right. One that I do remember was a few years ago when we took the Kraken to Game 7. I actually got to go to that one. And correct me if I'm wrong, because that it feels like a blur, and my heart was like out of my chest on the aisle. But it was Wyatt Johnston who scored the go-ahead in the third, correct?
I think that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, and I remember I think the game ended up being like 2-1. It was something very low scoring, but that game, and I've been to playoff Ranger games that have been amazing. I've been to playoff Cowboy games that have been less amazing. And
don't open that bag of worms yet.
I have never felt my heart/body in that much stress throughout that game. And it's not like the Stars were playing bad. Both teams were just so equaled out that game, it felt. And it was just like there's gut punching, heart wrenching, all of it, left and right. And when Wyatt scored that goal, it was the most insane moment. High fiving everybody you could around you. I will always remember that. It's probably my favorite playoff moment that I've been to, and the AAC does not get enough credit. They started really giving them credit throughout this playoff run, but they still do not get that building enough credit. It is incredible in there.
And you think that there wouldn't be a difference between the regular season and the playoffs, but there is. They just have that extra little oomph. It's and maybe it's just the people that are super diehard crazy like us. That's when you see all of those people going to those games is because they mean more or whatever. But it's like what 105 decibels, 110 decibels in that arena. It gets something ridiculous, like almost to the point where it's like hurting your ears.
Yeah.
I got a couple of fun questions to ask you too.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this for you. Let's do that. This is more of it's not really a serious one, but it's like more of a one that if they see this. What's your message to the team right now? Something that you wish that they could hear, especially after how the playoffs ended, and there was a lot of vitriol and hatred, unfortunately. A lot of criticism, and I'm not saying that it wasn't valid in some areas, but as a fan, and as a very hardcore fan, someone who's followed this team for the last 5 years, what's your message to the team right now? Something that they wish that you wish they could hear.
So, like you said, criticism is criticism. Some of it's due, some of it is overblown. I get it. There's going to be players that come, players that go. One thing that I want to say to the Stars organization and team themselves is, I'm going to look at the camera at this one, is thank you for this season. Thank you for this last several years. Thank you for making something so unique and fun be a part of the Metroplex. This year for Metroplex sports has been brutal. There's been one of the most insane moves in an organization's history made, and no one knew how to cope. No one knew how to deal with it. And one of the biggest fallbacks for people were watching this Dallas Stars team. And I think you found that the Dallas Stars mean a whole lot more to this city than a lot of people thought they did. There were kids devastated. There were adults devastated. There are people that naming their kids after the person that left. And people watching the Stars getting on the bandwagon was important to this city. It absolutely was important. And you've done a tremendous job of harboring that and allowing it to grow. You've allowed the fan base to grow. You've made it to where the bandwagon got so much bigger, and Stars fans themselves allowed that bandwagon to get bigger. It's easy to say, like, no, this is ours. Like, it's such a small niche thing for us to like. We can't let anybody else to join. That was not the case. That was not the case at all. It was so much fun to see people hop on the bandwagon. So to the organization and to that locker room, they're probably not going to see this, but if they do, thank you. And know how important you are to this city. Every single one of you, how important you are to this city and how important this sport has become to this city. And perennial success it can't be understated. The fact that you've been able to grow this sport and allow people to become fans of it has been very commendable. And like I said, criticism is criticism. You could always get better, could always get worse, but fantastic job. Fantastic job.
And to be honest with you, with the way the world is right now, and unfortunately, it's just the way it is. It's a very pessimistic, kind of dark world, in a lot of ways. And I think the internet has a lot of blame for that. And unfortunately, sometimes professional sports players, whether they be hockey players or whatever, that they unfortunately only get to see that side a lot of the time, especially when they don't perform the way that their fans want them to. And I think that's why it's really important and I really hope they see this. I really hope they do. At least one person on the Stars sees it, and that they realize that the reason why people are so fanatical about this team is because they care so much about this team. Yeah. And they love the emotions that they've gotten to go through and the stories that they've been able to follow along the way. So you put it a very good way. I don't think I could have said it better. I got two more questions for you.
Let's go.
First one, if someone's on the fence about following the Stars and coming to a hockey game, you've got 20 seconds to convince them to come. What do you say to them?
The game's super fun. I've got tickets. If you just want to come with me, I'll be a good friend to you. I'll buy you a drink. You'll meet people around the around the stadium. The game's super fun. Don't worry about it. Follow puck. Don't worry about the rules. Just follow puck. And if they score, it's super exciting. Big noises. Uh, I mean, it's easy to give hockey a shot if you're in person. The number one thing I hear from people, and I'm probably getting close to 20 seconds, is hockey is so much better in person. It's incredible in person. That's actually true. It's a true statement. Go in person. It's super fun.
And that's true with a lot of sports. True.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, it is so much better in person. But hockey, I think it's hard to translate hockey from the TV to in person. But and as good as it is on TV,
yeah, Josh and Razor, as good as they are, they're fantastic.
Yeah, as good as they are, they're it's just not as fantastic as compared to being in person. So, okay, last question for you, and I guess it kind of goes a little bit off of what you said to your message to the team right now. But what does being a Dallas Stars fan mean to you? What does it mean?
It means the community that it is. I mean, it really is a fun a community to be a part of. The team itself is good. It helps. That helps for sure. But being a Dallas Stars fan means you have joined this really cool like fraternity, sorority of fandom that you really don't see in other sports and even just other teams in this region. So it's really fun to be a part of. There are a lot of people that are diehards. There's people that know way more than me. This guy in particular, but I'm learning. And what's cool is hockey fans that I figured out are really cool about teaching you what's going on. I mean, I'll be in the Discord or you guys host watch alongs and stuff, and I'll just ask questions like, what happened here? What does this mean? No one's going to make you feel dumb. That's definitely not the case with some other sports. Hockey, people want hockey fans to be like, they want more hockey fans to be there, and Dallas Stars fans want more Dallas Stars fans. So to me, being a Dallas Stars fan means being a part of a giant community of hockey crazed weirdos that just love this sport and cannot get enough of it, especially in the green.
We're just a bunch of hippies over here, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry,
Dude, I'll take it.
I'm taking another shot at him.
Hippies burning 80,000 pounds of jet fuel every time I fly to and from somewhere.
Yes. Love it. That's something that I absolutely love about being down here in Texas. And I mean, you and I talked before we recorded this episode that, like, you know, the fan base that I hate the most now that I never thought would overtake the Colorado Avalanche is now the Edmonton Oilers. And it's because they're the exact opposite of what you said, at least what I see online. And I'm sure they're not that way in person at Edmonton Oilers games. I'm sure if I went there, it would be the exact same. But like, that's something that I can't stand about just seeing it out in the world is like, I hate when people put other people down just because they don't know something, right? And like you mentioned, that is something that I will never do to anybody, and especially about a sport that I love and the sport that brought me in and that I grew up with and that I knew absolutely nothing about. And it's just something that I'm gonna treat with like gold. It's such a huge part of my life. It's a huge part of your life, and I think that needs to be translated to a lot of people. I really hope people understand that Stars fans are the best. They absolutely are the best of the four major sports. I'm sorry, I love Rangers. I love the Cowboys, and I'm starting to tolerate the Mavs more. And we're not going to get into that trade, but but like there's nothing like Dallas Stars fans. It's not even close, and it's something that I've experienced for a long time now here, though. But well, anyways, Ryan, thank you so much for agreeing to come on and do this. Where can people follow you to follow your TikTok aviation stuff? Tell them about that.
Yeah, if you're interested, it's at TC Rygui, TCRYGUI. It's on TikTok. Yeah, it's just fun. If you're interested about flying airplanes, you could always find me on Discord or on TikTok or whatever you want to talk about that kind of stuff. It's pretty fun. It's a good time.
Well, once again, Ryan, thanks for coming on. And for all of you who are listening to this episode, we really, really, really I had no idea he was gonna do this. And for those of you who are listening on the audio side, he's actually got a crown that says King of Starcastic Remarks on it. That's our running joke with Ryan in the chat when we do after game reviews and stuff like that. I love it, Ryan. That's awesome.
I don't know where this came from. I don't know. I just was bestowed it.
Again, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Stay tuned every week, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. There's going to be a new one every single Tuesday through July and through August, where we get to talk to other Stars fans and hear their interests and hear their experiences with the Dallas Stars. Much more coming up. Thank you guys so much. And again, thank you, Ryan, for coming on. Go Stars.
Thanks for having me. Go Stars.